Well, look, thank you this morning for coming out to what will mark the third time in over 3 years that I've made a legislative call to have rules for roundabouts written into the Highway Traffic Act as I again reintroduce the Safe Roundabouts Act. I want to thank Elliot Silverstein from CAA South Central for joining me today as we seek to finally provide consistent answers and strengthen roundabout safety across the province. Where I come from, with more than 40 roundabouts across Waterloo Region and more being constructed in communities across the province, I feel it's our responsibility as legislators to move forward on enhancing roundabout safety throughout Ontario. Whether it's in Ottawa, Hamilton, or Waterloo Region, drivers should be aware of and be able to apply the same rules of the road when maneuvering through a roundabout. We are looking for consistency. Right now, we have a situation where the Ministry of Transportation tells drivers to slow down and watch for pedestrians, whereas, for example, in my region, the region says pedestrians go first. When entering or exiting the roundabout, drivers should yield the crosswalk to pedestrians. Over in Ottawa, they're going through the same discussions, confusions, and frustrations. The lack of any mention in the Highway Traffic Act leaves everyone, including motorists and pedestrians alike, with questions. When can I enter? How do I exit? Where do pedestrians cross? And ultimately, who has the right of way? Truckers and other large vehicle operators are faced with different challenges as they enter different municipalities across the province. Varied lane widths, multiple lanes, varying locations for pedestrian crossings, and conflicting rules for right-of-way. A little consistency would go a long way to enhancing safety right across our province. The Safe Roundabouts Act would require the minister to consult, report, and act on establishing rules of the road for roundabouts. Specifically, the consultation requirement would address a series of factors including the use of crosswalks, signs and markings, lighting, commercial vehicles, speed limits, signaling, entering and exiting roundabouts, uniformity of road design standards including consistency in lane width, and compliance with accessibility standards. In the past, my proposed roundabout legislation has enjoyed the support of course, CAA, which we're again thankful for, the Ontario Safety League, Ontario Motor Coach Association, of course, the Waterloo Region Police Service, and the Waterloo Region itself. I look forward to their continued support and hope that this time the government hears our calls. And of course, I'd like to turn it over to Elliot. And again, thank you for so much support on this important road safety initiative.
Thank you, and certainly CAA is proud to support the introduction of the private members bill again, the Safe Roundabouts Act, as we have in the past with MPP Harris's legislation. We're looking at it from the perspective of all road users, whether you be a cyclist, motorist, transit user, or pedestrian. We want to ensure that everyone is prepared and knowledgeable on how to use roundabouts, and that there's consistency and that the mechanisms are keeping everybody safe and actually serving its purpose. So we hope that we'll again have a very frank discussion about this in the next little while and see this legislation come into effect sooner than later. Thank you.
Excellent.